Good morning and welcome to Soul Soup. I'm Dr. Janette Freeman, here to dish up a little food for your soul and warmth for your heart this morning. And I'm going to just share a few ideas this morning from the I Am Discourses on supply. And this morning's teaching is on the power of attention, and our opportunity to learn to develop a more keen attention. And in this discourse, the teacher is talking about the power of attention to hold a picture of what the presence wants. It's also about holding a picture, an imagination, in order to participate more consciously in the laws of manifestation. And this discourse is, of course, from volume 19 on supply. So it's speaking directly to supply. In this discourse, one of the things that I think is the most important thing to remember is it constantly is telling us, I by myself can do nothing. It is the I am presence within me that does this, and that we put our attention fully and completely over and over on the presence, loving the presence. It's the presence and loving the presence that is filling this picture. It is the presence, loving the presence, that is doing this thing. It is our surrendering of our ego self to know that our greatest love is loving the presence, and loving the presence that is living its perfect, beautiful life in and through the body, personality, and the expression of you. And so we are reminded again and again to look upward and look towards this. So let me just pull a little bit from this teaching, and this is in chapter 1, discourse 1 in the I Am Discourses on supply. And I apologize that I'm going to jump around because I've got my little special underlined parts that I want to just pull from. So I encourage you to just take a deep breath and come into this moment and center and allow yourself just to be taught by your own I Am presence. And if anything that I read from the discourses touches you, it's from you, from your own higher self. And only take what is there for you. So I'm going to start into the first chapter just a little bit. And here we go. All right. I have particular in mind a desire to help you with regard to supply. You may decree for eons of time, but if you really want this fulfilled quickly and anchored into your outer affairs as conditions which produce and fulfill the divine plan, you must produce them according to law. Sometimes by just desiring a thing with great intensity, it draws you to its fulfillment one time, and another it fails. In producing anything constructive into the outer manifestation, you must come fundamentally to the understanding that unless you create the picture clear, distinct, and definite in your own mind, you do not have the anchorage for the light substance that produces freedom. In other words, it's like the Jello mold. We're the ones that create the mold through the picture of our mind, and the universe fills in that mold, pours the Jello. The problem is we don't produce the picture in a consistent way. We spend a moment producing a picture that produces feelings of abundance and joy and peace, and then 2 seconds later, we're in fear. We're producing fear pictures. So we're learning that those pictures, those fear pictures, those doubt and fear and worries do come up in this world of the material world. And our opportunity is to continue to refocus our attention on the pictures that produce peace, on the thoughts that produce peace, on the practices that bring us back into harmony and into well-being. So he talks about that for a little bit, that everything comes into a manifestation based upon this mental picture, or you could not produce it. Every thought you have has a picture within which it represents. Feelings are things, thoughts are things, words are things. So we want to begin with this mental picture, and go ahead and do that. You know right now, what is a mental picture that you know that represents something that means joy, peace, beauty, abundance to you. And so he says, if the other thing he talks about is the necessity for our feeling world, our emotional world, to be in harmony, to be in peace. That's the feeling world. That is our intention to come back to on a regular basis. This is the secret of freedom, he says, my dear ones, the secret of boundless supply, and the only way which it can be fulfilled. You can positively produce results, follow with undisturbed feelings. If your feeling world is not undisturbed, you're compelling part of the energy of your emotional body into whatever your attention is focused upon, and you receive only a small portion. So get a clear mental picture of what you want to produce, and hold that mental picture and pour the feelings of love and enjoyment of the thing you desire. The love in your feeling world is the magnetic attraction. The love in your feeling world. Your own feeling world, if it be charged with doubt or fear, is the thing that pushes it away. It pushes away the fulfillment of the call. Love is the great cohesive power of the universe, and is the vibratory action which coalesces with this universal light substance into the picture of what you desire. All right. And then he continues to go into the next piece, which I love and is so important, about recognizing it's not your mental world that is really powerful or creating. It is that you're aligning with your higher self and aligning with this higher frequency, aligning with this love, loving the presence. This is how we activate that presence of love, is by loving the presence. He says, but what can you produce without using the energy of God's life? Follow me closely. If you hold clearly in your mind the sharp, clear picture of what you desire to produce for the activity of fulfilling the divine plan, and pour your love upon it, you will produce it. Imagine it coming from the presence, and then pour upon that picture your love and enjoyment of doing what the presence wants you to do. You will draw into outer manifestation that which fulfills the divine plan of the presence. You will find, as you maintain the love, the harmony, the enjoyment of holding the picture of the presence doing the thing, it will release from its own hands into your outer use. Every individual has his own direct connection with his or her own mighty I Am presence, and it is the open door of boundless supply. But that which fulfills the divine plan must be the gift of life, where love alone is the fulfillment of the law of perfect manifestation. Therefore, unless your love goes to the I Am presence, in the enjoyment of holding the picture the presence wants, you do not open the door. By sending your love, asking the presence to produce into your hands and use whatever fulfills the divine plan, you give the presence the open door by which its own magnetic currents can draw from many channels. He says, I'm trying to help you today to let go of the little tight channels so you can open your world to God's boundless abundance. So long as you keep your attention fastened to people, you will be limited. Until you lift your attention to the I Am presence and the ascended host, who are wholly unlimited, you cannot have the gifts of the unlimited. So in our egoic mind, our separate self, in our life, we look to others for the fulfillment. We can't help but look to the jobs, we look to the mates, we look to the people, we look to the friends, we look to the family. They are only channels to the source of all supply. And these life lessons will ultimately always bring us back to this. We have looked to the outer, the material realm for what we should learn to go to the inner to align with. We are waking up that we are truly a part of this divine presence, a part of God, a part of the universe. We are part of that. So we continually surrender the egoic mind, surrender the separate self. And we can do that through this worship or contemplation or surrender to or gratitude to or loving the presence doing this thing. That way we can let go of our attachment, stay out of attachment of anything at all happening, trusting that the presence is working in and through us. The presence is the source of our supply. The presence is the source of our love. The presence is the source of everything. So your presence was great enough to put you here. Your presence which is great enough to supply your life and heartbeat with the energy to breathe. Don't you think it's powerful enough to bring you what you require? You belong to it, and the world belongs to it. But it has its own divine plan and its relationship with the rest of the world. So unless you get this correctly, my precious ones, and you get your house in divine order and in right relationship to your I am presence, everything in the outer is a continual struggle and continual battle, when it could be a continual enjoyment of lifting all outer action. You could just as well draw these manifestations which you desire as physical things from your presence with loving happiness as to dwell in the fear of the mental and feeling world of the outer self. Through that fear, your mental and feeling world will drive you here and there and everywhere to get a pittance of existence when you could have the boundless. So turn quickly to the presence, especially when you get in fear, and say, beloved, mighty I am presence. This is required here as the only thing to do to fulfill your divine plan. You see that I give and I demand the joyful obedience of this outer self to you. You show me the happy, joyous way of fulfilling this requirement. If what I am to use here in this physical world, then you bring it to me by your great love. Bring it to me by your great love and make me love you enough to keep the door open. Bring this to me by your love. So let's contemplate that in a little bit of meditation, should we? So hold a picture. Is there a picture that you want to just surrender to the presence? What would it be like for you to experience even more abundance, love, joy, beauty? If you're not sure, let's just connect to the breath for a moment and settle in. Allowing the breath to bring us present right here, right now. Allowing the breath to bring us into this moment, to feel the sensations in the body, in the breath. Right here, all is well in this moment. And go ahead and bring your awareness to your heart space. That's right, to the heart. And as you breathe, breathing into the heart space and connecting with that presence, with that feeling of love in the heart. Right here, I'm loving the presence that is beating my heart. I'm loving the presence that is caring for my life. I'm loving and in gratitude to the presence for all things, all experiences, for reminding me and waking me up to its power, its love. I'm loving the presence. Sometimes I like to just imagine two beautiful light-filled hands right above my head, pouring light to the top of my head. Imagining the presence loving, just pouring that love, that light is coming down to the top of the head, moving through the whole face and throat and heart and abdomen and hips, and pouring forth and cleansing and washing away any tension. I'm loving the presence doing this. And relaxing into and perhaps closing your eyes if you haven't yet, and imagining right at the third eye, or imagining right at that spiritual center, imagining the light, waking up that awareness of the presence. Using your focused attention right now, that right at that place, in gentle awareness, finding that beautiful picture. Allowing the presence to give you the picture of the thing, the experience, the form. That's right. Taking away all attachment of you doing anything and knowing that it is the presence that is doing this. Help me, presence, to love you so much, to always remember that you are handling this. You are handling this body experience. You are right here, seeing through my eyes, smelling through my nose, breathing through my mouth, loving through my heart, managing this body. I am loving the presence right here in life, in the body, loving the health, loving the supply, loving the relationships, loving the joyful experiences, even loving the challenges. And so we invoke, invite, and recognize this presence as the presence doing everything. We invoke, invite, and recognize it's this presence that's right here where I am. I am reminded that every time I say the word of I am, to use my I ams with conscious choice. I am abundantly blessed and supplied. I am more than enough. I am one with this presence. For truly there is one life. That life is the presence, and the presence is who is living in and through here, right now. I am that. I am. I am that. I am. And so today I let go of everything that argues with that. I let go of any worry and concern, knowing that is from the separate self. It is from the self that's so concerned with the body and world of events. I let that go and know that the presence is right here, living, loving, feeling, being. And it is so good and so very good. That's right. So gently just coming back to this place, right here, right now, to go out in our day and to go forth and to multiply the consciousness of the all good, the all God, knowing that we are aligned with that higher truth, and it's good. So thank you for joining us on Soul Soup today. I'm Dr. Janette Freeman, just sharing a little bit of tidbits from the I Am Discourses, and I hope that it's been a blessing to you. Please stay in touch. Get on my email list if you haven't done so at JanetteFreeman.com, or follow me on YouTube or the podcast Soul Soup. I'd love to stay in touch and see if I could support you in any way. I have lots of resources, meditations on Insight Timer. So stay in touch. And in the meantime, have a fantastic and beautiful day. Many blessings, my friends. Namaste.